This courtroom session starts off like any routine traffic docket, but don't be fooled. Within minutes, we're about to see a mix of quick pleas, serious charges, and one defendant whose situation spirals into something much bigger. From minor infractions to a potentially life-altering probation violation, this judge wastes no time laying down the law. The real question is who's taking responsibility and who's about to learn the hard way that the court doesn't play games.
They're not going to change it to a warning, and I can't change it to a warning. If you want to come and have a hearing, I have no problem with that. But if you're convicted of just going 5 over, you're going to end up with a point on your record. Okay. All right, good enough. We'll set an informal hearing as the sergeant needs.
We could do March 31st at 9:30.
March 31st at 9:30. You go down there. Pardon?
That'll be fine.
You can go down the hall and they'll give you a notice. Okay, we'll see you back here. Thank you. Olivia Rose Jeanette Fussell. 260-647-823. Good morning. Your name? All right, so you're going to plead to impeding, right? Responsible or not responsible today? All right, I'll accept your plea. Fines cost $150. You can go down the hall and take care of that. Good luck. Thank you. All right, Griner, Brian Shane Griner. 25B1496788A. B. 25B1497138. B. And C. Your name?
Brian Griner.
You have 3 show causes here on civil infractions. You also have a driving on a suspended charge from November of 25. You also have a leave the scene of a property damage accident, same date, November 15 of 25. When you were issued those citations, you were issued 3 other civil infractions. Expired plate, no proof of insurance, and
Right here, you can already see how efficiently this courtroom operates. Minor traffic violations are being processed rapidly. Fine, done. But don't mistake speed for lack of seriousness. Each of these decisions carries real consequences, like points on a driving record or financial penalties. The judge is also making it very clear, if you want to fight the charge, you absolutely can, but there's risk involved. So let me ask you, would you take the safer fine or risk a harsher outcome by going to a hearing?
driving left to center. You're in default on all of those. You have the right to a lawyer. I'll be happy to arraign you and give you a lawyer if you would like one. Would you like one?
Yes, Brian.
Where you been?
I've been sick. I had abscess and I got a broken back, and I've just been dealing with that. Work's been slow.
Judge, did he not meet? His file should have gone to the MIDC attorney already. Did he not meet with him?
Did you meet with a lawyer yet?
Yes.
Who'd you meet with?
I
What do you look like?
it was chunky.
Well, let's get Mr. Shemke in here. Have a seat right back there. I didn't know you'd seen him yet. Eric Williams, 26W841670. Good morning, sir. Your name?
What?
You're going to plead to impeding traffic, right?
Yeah.
Okay, commercial vehicle, responsible or not responsible to that? All right. 180 is your total. You're all set.
All right.
Have a good day. I'm dismissing the speeding. Can't be in another courtroom, is he?
I just sent a text, so I never said.
Anthony Panuto. 260-647-854. Your name?
Anthony Schmudo?
All right, you're going to plead to impeding traffic, true?
Yes, sir.
Responsible or not responsible to that?
Responsible.
I'll accept the plea. 160 is your total. You can go right down the end of the hall. Have a great day. Why don't you go get your lawyer, Mr. Griner? Tell him I'm ready. Carlos Calderon. 260-647-702. Good morning. Your name?
Courtroom.
All right, you're gonna plead to impeding traffic, right? Responsible or not responsible to that? You got no entries, 150 is your total, you're all set.
Yeah.
Speed's dismissed, you too. Stephanie Nicole Elliott. 26F245760. I don't know what this means. Your name?
What was that?
Your name?
Stephanie McCall.
I don't know what this means. Provided proof of registration renewal.
I was driving on the expired tank.
Yeah, I get it. So what is he gonna do with this? Whose is this? Flat Rock? I need to know what they're gonna do with that.
I don't know what that is.
They didn't write it down. Have a seat right at the table there, okay? Right behind you. I'm gonna need Flat Rock's department rep to tell me if there's a plea or what he's doing with that.
Okay.
Brian Shane Griner, 25B149713A, B, and C, and also I have 25B149678A and B.
Good morning, I'm Chip. My client stands to my meeting lot.
Your name, sir?
Brian Griner.
All right, so what is he doing on the misdemeanors? Drive off, suspend, and leave the scene.
We wait for more reading my client stands meeting.
All right, I'm gonna enter a not guilty plea for those. Where's he been?
Your Honor, he's apologetic for not coming in earlier. He has severe back pain. He had a severe back injury. I believe he broke his back and
Now this is where things shift. This defendant isn't just dealing with a simple ticket, he's facing multiple infractions, including driving on a suspended license and leaving the scene of an accident. That's a serious escalation. Notice how the judge immediately pivots from routine processing to a more careful procedural approach. There's also a key legal safeguard, here's the right to an attorney. Without proper representation, cases like this can go downhill fast. Do you think his explanation about his health issues will hold up in court?
he was debilitated at the time. He also was experiencing severe illness, but he did indicate that he walked it. He did not drive here, Judge. His stepfather drove him. He's got a strong family support system living in Monroe, and when he can, he does independent contracting work. He's apologetic for not taking care of this earlier.
Why didn't you at least call the court? We could have done this on Zoom.
I just found out about the bench point yesterday. That's why I'm here today.
I know, but you got the tickets back in November, right?
The accident happened in November. I didn't get the tickets till about a month later.
Yeah, so you know, well,
I
says,
didn't have money to pay them. I just,
all right, I'm gonna give you a personal bond, $500. You cannot leave the state without consent of the court or violate a law. You must appear in court as directed. I'm entering a not guilty plea. I'm entering a plea of denial on the, I'm sorry, I'm entering pleas of not guilty on all of these. We'll adjourn the show cause hearings, Heather, to the date that I set the pretrial on. Can you afford your own lawyer?
This moment is critical. The judge is balancing accountability with leniency by granting a personal bond instead of immediate detention. That's a big deal. It means the court is giving him a chance, but with strict conditions attached. Travel restrictions, court appearances, everything is now under scrutiny. This is the legal system saying, we'll work with you, but you have to meet us halfway. The real question is, will he follow through, or is he setting himself up for even bigger consequences?
no, Your Honor.
So if you want a court-appointed lawyer going forward, you're gonna have to fill out a petition for one, okay? All right, Heather, why don't you give me the dates? Or you
There
got
should
it
be
on
a-
here, don't you?
Yes, there
sorry.
should be a sheet.
My fault. March the 25th at 10:30, okay? March the 25th at 10:30. So he'll hand you a petition for a court-appointed lawyer. You fill it out. Remind John when he comes back, if you would, Heather. I'm sorry, Sadie. And John, he needs a court-appointed. Then once you fill that out, hand it back to him, go down the hall, get your notice, and we'll see you back here on that date. Do you have any questions? Okay. Good luck.
Just get here.
Yes,
Thank you, Judge.
thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
You too. So don't go anywhere until you fill out that petition, okay? I'm not writing on all these other, maybe I'll,
It's all right, Judge. I'm putting all the dates in right now.
thanks. Do I have Logan Scott Davis here? Did you meet with a lawyer yet? Come on up here. Logan Scott Davis, 25W839-209A. Your name?
Logan Scott Davis.
You're charged with violations of probation. No, I just wondered if he's gonna dismiss or is she gonna plead? Oh, I see. Okay, I see. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
There should be two of them.
Okay, thanks. Mr. Davis, you're charged with 3 violations of probation. I'm gonna arraign you. Actually, you have 4. I'm gonna go ahead and arraign you on these charges.
And now we move into a completely different level of legal trouble probation violations. This isn't about a single mistake anymore. It's about a pattern of non-compliance. Missing payments, skipping community service, ignoring required programs. Each one stacks against the defendant. The judge is laying out the stakes very clearly, up to 93 days in jail. That's not a warning, that's a real possibility. So think about ETET. What point does the court stop giving chances?
I placed you on probation, it looks like. Boy, you're not taking me very seriously, are you?
I just, I'm not vehicle,
Nah. You're charged with failure to pay fines and costs, balance owing $1,075. That's count 1. You understand the charge? Count 2, you fail to provide proof of completing 24 hours of community service. Do you understand the charge?
Yes, Your Honor.
Count 3, you fail to provide proof of attending 12-step meetings weekly. Do you understand the charge?
Yes, sir.
Count 4, you failed to provide proof of attending and completing outpatient treatment. You understand the charge?
Yes, sir.
If you plead guilty, if you're found guilty, that would be 4 technical violations. Your probation could be revoked. You could be incarcerated for 93 days. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're presumed innocent. They have to prove you guilty by a preponderance of the evidence. You have the right to a hearing. At a hearing, you can question witnesses, bring in your own, use the subpoena powers of the court to bring in those witnesses. By pleading guilty, you're going to be giving up all those rights, and we are not going to have a hearing of any kind. You understand that? All right, so you have the right to a lawyer. Be happy to provide you with one today at public expense if you cannot afford one. Would you like a lawyer?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay? I'm going to enter a not guilty plea for you on these. So we will set you up. You will talk with the lawyer, and then you'll come back in front of me, okay? Who needs a lawyer there, John? Pardon? So you go right out in the hallway and we'll set you up. Stephanie Nicole Elliott,
What stands out here is the judge's insistence on due process. Even with multiple violations, the defendant is still given the right to an attorney and a proper hearing. That's a cornerstone of the legal system. Everyone gets a fair shot. But fairness doesn't mean leniency. If the evidence stacks up, the consequences will follow. This is where preparation becomes everything. If you were in this position, would you fight the charges or try to negotiate your way out?
45760. All right, I see what he was doing. Your name?
Yep.
Nice and loud for me. You're gonna plead the expired plate, right?
Yeah.
To that charge, responsible or not responsible? When did you get your proof of registration?
That following Monday, it was Friday, I got it.
Okay. So you were expired, man. All right, I can cut it down for you, $85, okay? You weren't that far out of date. You can go down the hall and take care of that and you're all set. Best of luck. Melvin McGee Jr., 26W84141. Could I have seated up here at the tables, please? Melanie Meyer, Hadley Sanders, and Tiffany Stannis. Your name, sir?
No.
You're going to plead to impeding, right?
Correct.
I can't in good conscience take this. No way. I'm sorry. You can either plead as charged or you can go to hearing. You got 6 violations on your record here. So you can either plead as charged or you can set an informal, whatever you'd like.
Okay, points on the license, where go down?
I'm sorry,
Are the points for this agent?
1. To the charge 50 and a 45, you plead responsible or not responsible.
That was one.
I'm sorry, I just can't do this. 135 is your total. You're all set right down the end of the hall. Good luck.
That was I get paid once a month. I get paid, my next pay is on April 3rd, the first Friday.
I'll give you till April 6th, okay?
Thank you.
We're actually closed on the 3rd, or at least, yeah. Got to slow down. Okay? I don't know how they sent this in to me. They know I wouldn't take that.
No, it's a recall of a vehicle. I have a letter from GM because my dash literally goes out, so I gotta take it in to get that correction. I have the letter with me, but they just mailed it out in January.
Sorry. There's nothing I'm gonna do on that. There's just, you can't keep driving, speeding like that. I'm sorry. Good luck.
Thank you.
Melanie Meyer, 260-647-811. Your name?
Lonely Mike.
Back to the routine cases, but even here, you can see the judge making judgment calls based on circumstances. Reduced fines, dismissed charges, it's not random. Factors like prior records, compliance, and honesty all play a role. This is a reminder that how you present yourself in court matters. Respect, clarity, and accountability can actually influence outcomes. So ask yourself for people helping or hurting their own cases with how they respond.
All right, you're gonna plead to impeding? Responsible or not responsible to that? All right. You got 1 entry. I'm gonna accept your plea. 160 is your total. Cash you into the hall. You're right. You're all set. Have a nice day. How, Hadley Sanders, 260-647-863. Good morning. Your name? All right. You're gonna plead to impeding, right? Responsible or not responsible to that? Okay? I'll accept your plea, 150, cash you into the hall to your right. Have a good day. Tiffany Stanis, 260-647-821, your name?
Hey, Standish.
All right, you're gonna plead to impeding, right? Responsible or not responsible to the, all right, I'll accept your plea, 160 is your total. End of the hall, cashier to your right, good luck.
Thank you.
You to London Stark, 260-647-720. All right, your name?
Landon Stark.
All right, so you're gonna plead to impeding?
Yes.
You're still in high school or are you out?
I graduated last year.
What are you doing?
I'm working in English school.
Where?
I work at Watson Engineering.
Okay,
Goes to school craft.
what are you studying?
I'm welding.
Good. Good job. All right, to the charge impeding traffic, responsible or not responsible?
What's up?
All right, you're all set. Cashier into the hall to your right, okay? 160. Thank you. Have a good day. Robin Beeman, 260-647-684. Okay. I have 684A and B. Your name?
Robin.
Give me 1 second. Okay, you gotta be careful now, right?
Yeah,
Right?
yes,
You have insurance?
yes, I do.
Did you have it then?
No, I didn't.
You gotta be careful with that, okay?
Yes, I just got the card.
All right. Okay, to the charge impeding traffic, responsible or not responsible?
Responsible.
I'll accept that plea, dismiss the disobey traffic signal, dismiss the no proof of insurance. 170 is your total. You're all set. Cash, you're into the hall to your right. Best of luck. You're welcome. All right. Doris Jean Oaks Gambos. 26B15040.
This interaction highlights something often overlooked: payment plans. Not everyone can afford to pay fines up front, and the court acknowledges that. The judge is willing to work with the defendant, setting up manageable installments instead of imposing immediate hardship. But there's a condition: communication. Ignore the court and things escalate fast. Stay engaged, and you might get flexibility. It's a practical example of how the system balances enforcement with real-life financial struggles.
3. I'm sorry, ma'am. You're gonna have to have a seat right there.
Me?
Yeah, right at the table there. John, this needs over to Brownstown. They need to mark injuries, no injuries, whatever. Amber Welsh, come on up here. Okay, it's Amber Rose Welch, 26B150-152. Take your time. Morning, officer.
Morning, guy.
Do you want to sit down, ma'am?
No,
Are you sure?
yeah,
I already got that news.
Your name?
Amber Welch.
You're gonna plead as charged to failure to stop assured clear distance, right?
Yeah,
That's 2 points. To that charge, responsible or not responsible?
responsible.
It says crash with injuries.
Yeah,
All right, $200. I'll accept the plea. You can go down the hall and take care of that now.
I payment plan if possible.
Yeah, well, how much can you pay anything today?
I have $40 with me.
Okay. You pay 40 now. And then when can you pay the rest?
I can probably have the rest paid by May.
How often do you get, what kind of income do you have?
I get paid once a week. I work at VJ's jailer. I'm paying for Ubers to get to work, and I'm also paying a car payment.
Can you pay $40 per week starting April 6th?
Yeah. That's fine.
And if you don't have the money, you call the court. I'll be glad to give you an extension. Just don't ignore us. April 6th, 40 now, 40 a week starting April 6th. Okay? Again, if you don't have the money, no problem. I'll be glad to give you all the extensions you need, okay? Good luck. People against Dalton Dennis Stephen White. 26B1500092. Did you need something?
I just needed to check in for 10 o'clock informal, sir.
Okay. Okay. What case is that?
Good question. I just was notified 5 minutes ago.
Okay.
I was never given a subpoena. I just want to make sure they knew I was here up the street in the hallway.
Okay. Good enough.
Thank you, Your Honor.
But you're not gonna leave. Tell me who
I don't know who the,
Heather, who's the 10 o'clock informal?
10 o'clock informal, let's take a look here. The officer on it, I have a couple. I have one for Quentin Miller with Officer Rustic, and then I have Jaden Toma with Officer Neese.
I'm Goldsmith from Flat Rock. Yeah, 10:15, you said.
Oh, it's 10 o'clock, it's 10:15.
Oh, 10:15 is Officer Goldsmith for Deborah Bolin.
Okay,
That's nice. Thank you, Your Honor.
no problem. Dalton, Dennis, Stephen, White, just come on back in at 10:15, okay? Your name?
Oh, that's Stephen Ellis.
You're gonna plead to impeding, right?
Yes.
Crash, no injuries. To that charge, responsible or not responsible? Okay. 195 is your total. Cash your end of the hall to your right, and you're all set, okay?
Thank you.
Good luck. Be careful, please. All right.
This courtroom session is a perfect snapshot of how the legal system handles everything from minor infractions to serious violations, all in a single docket. We saw quick resolutions, second chances, and clear warnings about the consequences of repeated noncompliance. The judge maintained a balance between efficiency, fairness, and accountability, showing that every case, no matter how small. If you found this case as eye-opening as we did, make sure to hit that like button. Share your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more jaw-dropping courtroom breakdowns.